Afternoon, everyone. Hello, I'm Gareth Ellis-Unwin, Head of Film and Animation over at ScreenSkills. I'm going to give you a fast blast, 7 minutes restricted, catch up on what we're doing in the film and animation space. The reason I share this with you isn't any sort of form of grandstanding. It's trying to meet that common accusation that producers come to me with, and they say, we want to be diverse with the crew, we want to be inclusive with our production teams, we want to do better in this space. Well, unless you know that there is a workforce that's been trained and is competent and you can walk into that place of work, you are going to operate restrictive practices. You are going to turn to your friends, those that you've hired time and time again. So when I mention the volume of some of these courses that we've been running, it's trying to underline the fact that there is a diverse and inclusive growing workforce that's out there and available to employers. When I talk about our work, I don't mean just our work, of course. I mean the work that we do based from Euston ourselves, or that which we deliver through our partners and partner organisations, a number of which are here today. So please, if I say our work, I mean our collective work. Trainee Finder. On film, diversity and inclusivity, good practice that runs through everything we do. What a grand statement that is. It's true. I'm going to show you how we bear that out. So, in light of the fact that we're in our very significant production boom, we are upping the ante with regards to our trainee finder. We've recruited 150 this year as opposed to 75 last. And I'm pleased to say I've got the stats in. 77% of that cohort is from outside of London. 52% of that is BAME in London and 21% outside. 15% recognised as being disabled or having learning differences, and 10% of those that wish to express their sexual orientation identified as being from the LGBT community. So that's something we're very proud of this year. Grits for Heroes is an initiative that, working alongside a couple of military charities, looked at those that had come out of military service that for whatever reason, whether ill, sick or injured, we could identify a particular grade that we felt that we could recruit into. Our thinking being, if you can keep a tank running in a desert, you can run a Pee-wee dolly, that's for sure. Film On is a, bird's eye view. Mia Bays would kill me for missing her. So Mia's programme is 10 women that are in fairly high positions within the distribution part of the value chain, but for whatever reason aren't quite getting that bump up to becoming responsible for a national jurisdiction or other. So she's working with 10 women that are looking for that big step into a really senior position, and they'll go through on this year's course. Film On is training disabled participants to look at camera traineeships and assistants, and there are 12 going through that scheme at the moment. And Life Magnified is the first programme where we've been working with those that recognise that they are on the neurodiverse spectrum, and working with 15 young people there. We are already ready to listen to industry. We were approached 6 months ago by a producer that had to have Caucasian stunt performers go through makeup to be able to play characters that were from a BAME background, and we thought, in this day and age, there's got to be something better we can do around that stunt space. So we held a day at BAFTA where we had 120 participants looking at encouraging stunt performing as a viable career option from those from the BAME background. Working alongside BIFA, our unconscious bias. I didn't even know what unconscious bias was until a year ago, and that's a producer that has been working in the industry for 20 plus years. I took so many good learnings from the session that BIFA rolled out. That was 350 of their voters were trained. We have some activity that's coming up in the near future. Our esteemed colleagues on the high-end TV side of things have been running a Make a Move programme. We're adopting a similar, I would say not an absolutely equivalent, but a similar programme which we are targeting towards underrepresented groups. That will take 15 participants, and over the next year, working with employers on identifying those that are on a trajectory to senior management positions and just need a little bit more resource and training going into them to help them make that step. We will be rolling out in April the new ScreenSkills bursaries. It's across all of our activity, and 20% of the film work will be held back, again, deliberately targeting underrepresented groups through that bursary provision. Mentoring Network launches later this month. I think a couple of you will actually be at the launch event. So we are piloting a programme of mentoring where we try to shorten the gap between those that are being mentored, trying to make that mentoring process more relevant, more timely, and representative of the journey that they want to go on. We're piloting 491 pairs at the moment. We continue our vital careers work. I just got the stats in from Margaret and her team. 59,000 interactions over the course of the last year in terms of live events, schools events, careers shows and otherwise. And we are now leading on the Creative Careers programme. We mustn't forget geographical diversity. 3/5 of the training that we commissioned last year was outside of London, and we're very proud to support programmes that ran in Wales, the North East. We did some work with the Production Guild in Northern Ireland, in Belfast, and we identified our first centre of excellence that will be rolling out this year with Screen Yorkshire. Not a bricks and mortar educational establishment, it's far more than that. It's about knitting together the whole production ecosystem, the employers, the trainers, higher education, further education, to try and provide opportunity up in Yorkshire. And I'm sure I've gone well beyond 7 minutes, so that's me done, and I'll hand over to the next person.